Good evening, children. Today we are again starting our biology session. Today we will start a new chapter, that is chapter number 6, Respiration in Plants. We have already discussed what is photosynthesis and what are the importance of photosynthesis. You know what is the product and byproduct of photosynthesis. Today, like photosynthesis, we are going to learn about one more very important biological process that is known as respiration. Let's start. Now, children, as you know, that like all living organisms need some form of energy to carry out the different physical and metabolic activities. Now, what is the source of that energy? There should be some source from where they can get that energy. So, respiration is the process that is carried out by a plant. That is the main source of energy that release energy for the plant and helps them to carry out different biological process, like different metabolic and different physical process. Like when photosynthesis occurs, so at that time the upward conduction of water to the different parts of the plant, this process needs some energy. Again, after the production of glucose, the complex chemical substance, that food nutrient need to be conducted to different parts of the plant. So how this process is going to happen? For these, some energy is needed, and that energy is provided to the plant by this process of respiration. Now, sometimes we confuse that respiration is same as breathing. Like respiration is same as breathing. But no, respiration and breathing are two completely different process. This breathing, you can say, this is basically a mechanical process where simple inhale and exhale of gases occurs. Like here, if you see in this structure, this is the picture or diagram of a guard cell. These are the two bean-shaped guard cell. This is the stomatal opening. Now, this intake of oxygen through the stomatal opening and exhale of carbon dioxide, this mechanical process is known as breathing. But respiration, this is a complex biochemical process. Why we say so? You will understand gradually. So respiration is a complex biochemical process that helps in the release of energy to carry out different bodily functions. Right? Let's see what is it. In this process of respiration, children, you know, during photosynthesis, the glucose, the complex food substance, the complex substance that is produced, this glucose is oxidized. With the oxygen is taken up by plant, and after intake of oxygen, this complex chemical substance glucose is broken down or oxidized by plant, and it results in the release of carbon dioxide. As you can see here, the exhale of carbon dioxide through the stomatal opening. So it results in the release of carbon dioxide, some amount of water, and a large amount of energy, that is ATP. This ATP is known as the adenosine triphosphate. So it is this energy which is very much required to carry out the other physical and metabolic activities. And this entire process is the this is the representation of the respiration process. Okay, now let's see the chemical equation of this. Glucose, you know, this is C6H12O6. This, when oxidized with the help of oxygen, this when oxidized results in the release of carbon dioxide, water H2O, and energy, that is in the form of ATP. 38 molecules of ATP are released. Why? I'll tell you. sorry, one molecule of glucose, one molecule of glucose results in the release of 38 ATP molecules. Okay, so you can understand from the equation, so you can make out from this equation only that one molecule of glucose, its breakdown release in such a huge amount of energy, 38 ATP molecules of adenosine triphosphate, that is sufficient, which can help them to carry out various body functions. So this is the basic concept of respiration. Now again, in terms of respiration, we need to know where this process actually happens. We know that this process of respiration occurs throughout the plant body, like it can occur in stems, in leaves. I will write here. It can occur in leaves, then stem, then roots also respire. So the different, as here you can see the different parts of plant, leaves, stems, roots, in all these parts respiration is carried out. And if we go into more specific that where is this respiration actually happens, respiration always occurs within the cell. So it occurs in cell cytoplasm and in mitochondria. For this reason, respiration, the process of respiration, is also known as cellular respiration. It is also called as cellular respiration. Why? Because this process mainly occurs in cell. That is why in the cell cytoplasm and in mitochondria, that is why it is also known as cell respiration. Fine. Now, in this equation of respiration, you can see that the byproducts are what? One is carbon dioxide, and one is water. Okay. Now among these two, and this is the energy which is the main reason why this process is happening. So among these two byproducts, this carbon dioxide is known as the waste material. Do you know why? Because accumulation of carbon dioxide in plant body can be harmful. As we know that what is this waste product? Waste product is accumulation of some waste materials in our body which need to be excreted from time to time. That is not only in our body, that is in case of all living organisms. So in case of plant also, carbon dioxide is considered as the waste products which needed to be released from time to time, and that is why through this guard cell carbon dioxide is exhaled out. Okay, so this is the basic concept of respiration. How this process occurs, what is the chemical equation, and what are the main locations where this respiration occurs. We will come to the next topic, that is types of respiration. Let's see. Now children, coming to the next part, that is different types of respiration. The usual respiration that I was discussing for so long, that was the aerobic respiration. The other one is anaerobic respiration. So you can make this out very well from the name only. Like aerobic respiration means that happens in presence of oxygen, and anaerobic respiration means that happens in absence of oxygen. Now from this chemical equation you can very well understand what is the process. I'll tell you. Here you see, in aerobic respiration that happens in most of the organisms. Here the complex chemical substance, that is glucose, is completely oxidized, and it results in the release of, as I told you, carbon dioxide, which is the byproduct waste material, and water, and it really results in the release of good amount of energy, that is 38 ATP of molecule 38 molecules of ATP are released by the oxidation of only one molecule of glucose. So that is sufficient for a plant to carry out the process. Likewise, more and more oxidation of molecules of this glucose, more amount of energy will be released. So these two are very important. Another is the aerobic respiration. What is it? This usually happens in some lower organisms, some kind of bacteria. This process of aerobic respiration is carried out. That is the respiration that happens in absence of oxygen. Here, complete oxidation of glucose does not happen. Rather, what it happens, this glucose is oxidized and it results in the release of carbon dioxide. Then another important substance is ethyl alcohol. See this one, this is ethyl alcohol or lactic acid. This is the main difference between the two. And another thing is the energy that is released in this process is comparatively less compared to that of the aerobic respiration. Here you see it is 38 molecules of ATP with a breakdown of one molecule of glucose, and here only 2 molecules of ATP, adenosine triphosphate, is released by the breakdown of one molecule of glucose. So children, these are the main difference between I hope you have understood what is aerobic respiration, what is anaerobic respiration. And another important thing is learn the difference between the two, aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. Okay, this part is already given discussed in your book, page 70. So go through the difference between the two and try to understand the portions up to this. Next session we are going to discuss the remaining part of this chapter. Thank you.